What's up, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video. This one should be pretty quick. I'm just going to go through kind of some of the gut reactions that I have to the Oscar nominations and focus on some movies and performers and different people that I think maybe were snubbed for the 2025 Oscars, of the 97th Academy Awards. Let me know your thoughts down below. We're just going to get right into this. I do want to say, I haven't watched all the nominees yet. I'm planning to do that between now and the ceremony so I can make my predictions. So maybe after I do, I'll understand maybe why some of them got the nod over some that I feel like were maybe snubbed. So I'll just say that, and maybe I'll change my mind on some of these. But I think the biggest snub overall has just got to be that Challengers didn't get a single Oscar nomination. It was completely shut out. We'll kind of get more into it in the different categories. But early in the year, I thought that it would get, at least one acting nomination, if not two or three. But as the year went on, it became pretty apparent that the more recent performances would box them out. And I think that's something that became super apparent this year, is just that recency bias is huge for awards season. I mean, some of the movies that came out earlier in the year, they just aren't doing very well because people kind of forgot about them and are focused on these more recent movies. So like I said, the acting performances, I don't know if those are necessarily snubs, but I think early on they were kind of some of the more talked about ones. Best song, I think it could have gotten for Suppress Repress. Cinematography, I don't understand how it didn't get a cinematography nomination. If you just go watch the final tennis match between Art and Patrick, you'll understand why it should. The movie is so well filmed. It could have gotten a Best Director nomination, honestly, a Best Original Screenplay nomination, and then it definitely, more than anything else, should have gotten a Best Score nomination. It just won at the Golden Globes, rightfully so, and it should have gotten nominated for Best Score. Now, another movie that I think was just overall snubbed is actually Dune Part 2, and it did get 5 nominations, but I think it should have gotten more in other categories. I think it should have gotten editing, makeup and hairstyling, costumes. I think it should have been nominated in all those. The biggest snub, I think, was that Denis Villeneuve did not get a Best Director nomination. I think he should have. I just looking at the list as well, I'm not gonna crap on any of the nominees that did get nominated. Congratulations to them, but I just think he should have been in over some of those other names. I won't get into its ineligibility for Best Original Score, but I think that's bunk because it had the best score of any movie this year, and I think it should have been eligible. So some other Best Picture snubs that I think were in there were Sing Sing. I haven't actually seen, but I've seen a lot of people saying that, and it did get a Best Original Screenplay. Adapted Screenplay and a Best Actor nomination, as well as for Best Song. The two for me that I thought definitely could have been in there, but I don't know if they're considered snubs because I don't know which movies. Well, I know which movie I would take out for them, but I'm not going to say it. But these movies, I don't know if they deserve to be in more than other ones. Is A Real Pain. It did get Best Original Screenplay nomination and for Best Supporting Actor for Kieran Culkin. And Better Man. No, I'm sorry, not Better Man. That movie's good. A Different Man, the one with Sebastian Stan. I think that one should have gotten or could have gotten very well a Best Picture nomination as well as a Best Original Screenplay. I think it could have and should have gotten more nominations than just Best Makeup. There's one more I'll touch on in a second. Another person that was blocked out of Best Director that I think really could have fit in there with those names was John M. Chu for Wicked. I think that he will probably be nominated for Wicked for Good this year, I would assume. And I think it's going to get more, even though, Wicked got 10 nominations. I think it's very well represented. I don't know if it's even going to win any of those. We'll have to look at my predictions. But I think it will probably, honestly, do better at next year's awards. So for Best Supporting Actress, I personally didn't have any snubs. I know a lot of people thought maybe Selena Gomez would be in there for Emilia Perez, Jamie Lee Curtis for The Last Showgirl, and the biggest one that I've seen online that I've seen people very upset about is that Margaret Qualley did not get in for The Substance. I personally didn't really have any. I haven't watched The Substance yet, so I'm not going to disagree or agree with the Margaret Qualley take, but I just felt like I should mention it because that is one that I've seen heavily mentioned online. For Best Supporting Actor, another one that I've seen a lot of is Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing. I've seen a lot of people very upset that he did not make the cut. And another one that I was kind of surprised didn't. this was a very competitive category. Someone I saw tweet about is Adam Pearson from A Different Man. I didn't think he would get nominated, but I think it would have been a worthy nomination if he did get it. But someone that I think maybe should have, but the movie just got a lot of negative reviews, so I can understand why I didn't, is Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2. I think he was just really, really good in that movie. And for a while, he was actually the front runner for the award, and then I feel like it just switched, and he was not even a nominee. So for Best Actress, this is again one I personally didn't have any snubs, but the ones that I've been seeing mentioned were Angelina Jolie for Maria, that they'd only got one nomination for Best Cinematography. Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths, and the other one that I've seen a couple people mention, and she got a Golden Globe nomination, was Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl. Those are just other ones I saw, not my personal takes. For Best Actor, another one I've seen a lot is Daniel Craig for Queer. I was kind of surprised he didn't get in, but whatever. And the other one that I actually think is a big snub is Sebastian Stan. He did get in for The Apprentice. I think he very well could have gotten in for A Different Man, which was actually his Golden Globe winning performance. He's fantastic in that movie. It's a great film. And I think he could have gotten in for that. I haven't watched The Apprentice yet, though, so maybe that one deserved the nod over this. Just a couple more that I have here, and then one post I'm going to read that I thought was interesting. So for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, this is kind of silly because this movie was kind of small, and it's not. When I watched this movie, I was like, this should get a Best Makeup nomination at the Oscars, and it's Sasquatch Sunset, a movie about 3 Sasquatches. There's no dialogue, and it's just like them existing. I don't know, is it 4? I think it's 4 Sasquatches actually. But no, it's 3, and then there's a baby born, so that would be 4. But that movie, I mean, it was okay, but the makeup and hairstyling was really well done. So that is one that I think. And last, for Best Animated Feature, I really think Transformers 1 should have been nominated. That was my favorite animated movie I saw this year. I haven't watched The Wild Robot yet. I'll probably watch it this weekend. But Transformers 1 was my favorite animated movie this year. And I really think it should have gotten in there because it was really well animated, really well done. So there's that. Now, I saw this post, I'll put it up on the screen, from Discussing Film on Twitter. And this is kind of a list of major films that got 0 Oscar nominations. Obviously, you see the post there. I'm not going to read all of them especially because, I mean, Madam Web is on there as a joke. But all the rest, I think, could have maybe gotten nominations in different categories. But Blitz was completely shut out. I think it could have maybe gotten a Best Sound nomination, but it didn't. Oh well. Furiosa was completely shut out. Baby Girl was completely shut out. I know I saw some buzz for Nicole Kidman for Best Actress. Juror Number 2, Civil War, like we already talked about. Challengers not getting a single one, which is wild. We Live in Time, The Piano Lesson, Transformers 1, that's one I mentioned. I saw The TV Glow. I didn't think it was very good. But and I skipped Long Legs. I haven't seen that one. But those are just some movies that interestingly got 0 nominations. And I think it's wild that Gladiator 2 only got 1 nomination for costumes. I understand that the movie, a lot of people didn't love it. And I mean, it was definitely not as good as the first Gladiator. If you thought it was going to be, that's on you. But I think it really, I mean, I wouldn't have been personally shocked if it snuck in for Best Picture because it's a very cinematic movie. And you know what? It's really fun. So there's that. I think that's everything I have for you. I don't know what my next video will be. There will probably be a couple more between now and then. But I'm working now. I've already started watching some of the movies that were nominated for Oscars, so I can get you my Oscar predictions. Stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, evening, or night whenever you're watching this. Yeah, love you. Peace.